Hi, my name is Gretchen Trkay and I'm an instruction librarian at UT Arlington Central Library. As a dedicated foodie, I found Chapter 2 of Deep Economy particularly interesting. In the chapter, The Year of Eating Locally, McKibben discusses many aspects of food production, including peak oil, factory farming, government subsidies, and local food economies. As an experiment, from September to December, the author chose to eat only those foods produced in the Lake Champlain Valley near his home. As I was reading the section of the chapter that addresses McKibben's local food buying experience, I could not help but wonder how to define local. McKibben seems to arbitrarily define local as the lake valley in which he lives. He admits to cheating by going across the border to Canada in order to buy oats, a mere 100 miles from his home. If we applied the same standard in Arlington, cheating would include eating foods produced in Tyler or Waco. Now, I am a librarian, so of course I was compelled to do some research to determine whether there is any standardization when it comes to local food. I discovered that unlike the term organic, there is no standard definition for local. A 2008 study by Iowa State University's Leopold Center for Sustainable Agriculture indicates that perceptions of what constitutes local food differ depending on the region of the country in which you live. Those who surveyed, who lived in eastern and midwestern states, most often defined local as food produced within a 25-mile radius, while those who lived in larger western states were more likely to define local as food produced within 100 miles. As McKibben recounts his winter experiment, he does little to define local for us in geographic terms. Instead, he tells us about those who produce the food and how they go about producing it. My cursory research for a standard definition of local food gives some insight into why McKibben chose to write about his food experiment in this way. Although the proximity of the producer is an element of the local food buying experience, other criteria just seem to be equally important. A dedication to sustainable practices, the ability to communicate with those who are actually producing the food that is fresher and tastes better, and support a small business. Each of these things seem to be as important, if not more important, than the exact number of miles between the purchaser and the producer. McKibben, as well as my research, leads me to believe that we can't define local food by buying by miles. Rather, local is about buying from producers that are as close to my home as possible, that support sustainable communities, and of course, produce fresh and delicious food. That's what I think. What do you think?